In the news this week, Theresa May smears traditional marriage supporters, a university blocks research into regret among transsexuals, and a group of pro-life rape survivors refuse to be silenced. Hello. Theresa May has said same-sex marriage is one of her party's proudest achievements and implied traditional marriage supporters lack compassion.
Same-sex marriage on the statute book, so that two people who love each other can get married no matter what their gender. So let us never allow the left to pretend they have a monopoly on compassion.
The UK's largest pro-marriage group, Coalition for Marriage, said the comments were an extraordinary attack on supporters of traditional marriage, and it highlighted that the Conservative Party's own members are opposed to its politically correct agenda. Thomas Pascoe, campaign director for C4M, spoke to us earlier.
Theresa May's message to the conference was very disappointing for supporters of traditional marriage. The idea that you're not compassionate if you don't support same-sex marriage would have been news to many of our supporters, including her own MPs and the very senior members of churches and other religious figures in different faiths who have signed our petition against the campaign to redefine marriage. I think Theresa May would be better off maybe listening to her own party activists here. The Coalition for Marriage earlier this week released a poll of 550 Conservative councillors, and 75% of them said that what we need is traditional marriage and the family promoted in schools. So that's a very clear message. Focus on traditional marriage and the family and not politically correct nonsense.
Research on people who have detransitioned has been blocked after a university feared accusations of being politically incorrect. Bath Spa University's Ethics Committee feared attacks on social media. James Caspian, the psychotherapist seeking to do the research, described the decision as astonishing and a betrayal of academic research values. Professor Miroslav Djordjevic, who has performed a number of operations to reverse attempts to change sex, said regret among transsexuals is an important subject that needs research. Janice Turner, a columnist for The Times, criticised Bath Spa's decision, noting a propensity to label all academic inquiry as transphobic. Since I've been writing about this subject, I've been contacted by doctors, psychotherapists and concerned transgender people themselves, desperate to speak out on the trans phenomenon, but terrified to do so for fear of abuse or even losing their jobs. The Archbishop of Canterbury has failed to defend the biblical view of homosexual sex. Justin Welby said he could not give a clear answer on whether gay sex is a sin because of irreconcilable differences in the Anglican Church worldwide. The Archbishop said that for him, it was faithfulness, love and stability that were crucial in relationships. While he was clear that hatred against individuals was sinful, he said he was seeking an answer on homosexual sex that would satisfy everyone. I am having to struggle to be faithful to the tradition, faithful to the scripture, to understand what the call and will of God is in the 21st century and to respond appropriately with an answer for all people. Later, the Church of England took action against the Anglican Church in Scotland after it dropped the biblical definition of marriage. The Scottish Episcopal Church will now be barred from decision-making processes within the worldwide Anglican Communion. And finally, a group of rape survivors have said they are tired of being silenced and shunned by pro-abortion activists in the Republic of Ireland. The women are speaking out as part of an initiative called Unbroken Ireland, which aims to raise awareness for the needs of women who became pregnant from rape or were conceived in rape. Laura Niconola said pro-abortion campaigners have embarrassed themselves by forcing hotels to cancel pro-life meetings. We are tired of being silenced, and we will no longer accept attempts to silence us or to make us feel ashamed. The meetings were co-hosted by the Life Institute, and Niamh Irene said the actions by pro-abortion activists were absolutely shameful. Whatever your views on abortion, I think most people would recognise that these women have an important part to play in the debate, and that their voices are rarely heard. The Irish government recently announced that the country will vote on its constitutional protections for the unborn next year. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.